I'd like to call to order the April 10th Recreation Committee meeting. All committee members are present today. For the roll call, we're going to go to the invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Councilman Oliver Joseph.
Now bow our head. Dear Lord, bless this great nation, bless this great state, bless this great parish. Most of all, bless all the members on this board to make the right decision for our community. And dear Lord, bless all the armed forces service members that give us the freedom that we have today. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 3, the public comment period. So we'd like to remind the public, if you have any comments on any agenda item, please bring a card up. With that, we'll go to agenda item number 4, the Director's Report, Ascension Parks Foundation update.
Yeah. Good evening, committee members. I know it's been a while since there's been a Recreation Committee meeting, so we wanted to take this time to go through some information with you, talk a little bit more, receive some feedback, and tonight we do have a voting item for your attention. So we want to try to do this on a more regular basis, and hopefully we'll be able to get quality and positive feedback from you all of how we can expand recreational opportunities into the public. For those of you that I have not already met, you got it? All right. My name is Brandon Smith. I am a certified Parks and Recreation professional with 24 years of experience. Most recently, I was with the BREC system in East Baton Rouge Parish. I'm retired assistant superintendent of that system. I am a graduate of the NRPA Directors School, Revenue Management School, and have several other certifications regarding Parks and Recreation. This has been my passion for my career. I'm dedicated to serving the public and ensuring that we offer quality programming and parks and facilities throughout the parish. So I certainly appreciate y'all's providing me the opportunity to be the director, and look forward to some great years ahead of us. At this time, what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a PowerPoint presentation. We have a couple updates that we want to provide you, and then we'll have the voting item at the end. At this time, I'll ask Michelle Tomplay, my Assistant Director of Recreation, to go through our programming update.
Good afternoon. We're going to start our slideshow off this morning with some fun photos of our ever-growing Garney Gautreaux Senior Sock Hop. This event usually has an average of between 600 to 750 participants every month. As you can see from the pictures, we try to come up with fun themes every month, and they are more than happy to dress the part. In 2024, we were actually able to expand this to Donaldsonville. So that program is doing well over there as well. Everybody's enjoying it. It's a good program for our seniors. It promotes good times, social interactions, a little shaking of the leg, and we do have sponsors to provide them lunch. So we're super happy with that program. On our next slide, our two corner slides we're extremely excited about. Our Biddy program had 208 participants this year. That's our basketball program on the west side. To your left is the 2025 Biddy National Champions. So they went, played all the way up, and they came home with the championship. To the right is our 9 and 10-year-olds. They came up runner-up in the national championship. So we are extremely proud of that. We hadn't met in a while, so we haven't had the opportunity to introduce y'all. We have a new supervisor, too, on the west side. His name is Devin Allen. Devin has taken the responsibility of all things recreation on the west side, so he ran basketball this year. We currently have 100 participants enrolled in baseball, which is a real good comeback for us. We didn't have baseball on the west side at all last year. So we're really happy, and we're looking forward to more programming opportunities that we can come back and report on. So it's a good day. It's a good time in recreation. Moving on, we have our AP baseball program. We have 892 participants playing at Paula. Oh, we gotta go back and forth between these two. At Paula, Stevens, and Centimall, with the major division moving to the fields of the city of Gonzales. Our softball program had 553 participants, and they are playing on their newly turf field. So, our boys this year, and I have wrote in my notes where we're not gonna make it a habit, our boys are gonna be hosting the Little League District 2 tournament at Butch Gore Park from June 28th to July 3rd. So everybody will get to enjoy the new field. So if y'all get the opportunity, come out and catch a game. That's gonna be exciting. It's gonna bring new opportunities to recreation. Our AYBA numbers are holding steady. We had 1,120 boys and girls participating in the 2025 basketball season. That just came to an end as well. Ascension Flight Program closed their spring season with 1,428 participants, so soccer is doing well too. And of course, we have our adults. Our adults never cease to amaze me, and they never give up the dream. We had a full schedule at Prairieville Park between co-ed, women's league, men's league, and co-ed again. That field stays running 7 days a week with adult programming. Pickleball is new to us in the last couple of years or so. We don't have an actual participation number on pickleball, but on the east and west side, it is more than we can keep up with. As a reminder, in case, anybody wants to go out and play, pickleball is played Monday and Wednesdays at the Ascension Gym from 9 to 1, and Tuesday nights from 6 until everybody finishes, go through their rotation. It's played on the west side Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11, and Monday nights, 6 to 8, and on Wednesdays, they actually have a competitive league in Donaldsonville. So those are some exciting adult activities. New last year to recreation, Kingdom Fitness, we brought in a new programmer, Kingdom Fitness, and they brought in adult basketball, adult flag football, and adult volleyball. So we're excited to open those opportunities to Donaldsonville coming up as well. So we have a lot going on in sporting events in recreation. Coming up this weekend, we have our second annual Hippity Hoppity Easter Market. Last year, this was a huge event. We partner with a company. We have vendors come out. We do the Easter egg hunt. Last year, we did 3,000 eggs. This year, we have done 10,000 eggs because we had that many children everywhere. There will be 2 different hunts, one at 11 and one at 1. So they're separated 3 to 5, 6 and up. So if y'all have time, come out, and these are great community events that we're getting to do. Last year, we actually did one in December as well called Stroll Through the Park. That was a success also. So we're looking forward to doing or providing more community opportunities for, everybody don't play sports. So just being able to have that reach and be able to provide those outlets is something we're excited about doing. And lastly on my list, Arbor Day is coming up April the 26th. Our tree planting project will be at Southwood Park this year. You're all invited to come out. If you want to plant a tree at 8 a.m., we will be out there. And any questions? Good?
OJ, no questions?
I do have.
No.
Just,
They got stuff on the West Bank.
yeah, that's correct. That's
He
correct.
heard Donaldsonville a lot.
But you say the Easter egg hunt on this side of the river, and the sheriff have one on the west side of the river.
This weekend too, as well.
Correct, around the same time. So, just to let the public know that they do have one on the West Bank, but it's at the Sheriff Wag Center.
Right.
Okay, that's all I just wanted. Other than that, great
Good to
job.
go.
Great job.
Appreciate it. All right, well, we'll continue to move forward here. We're going to talk about our park enhancement projects. These are projects that we complete internally through the Recreation Department, so our park operations staff that we oversee complete these enhancement projects that we've identified. I'll take you through some of these slides here. If you see at the top left, that's our Veterans Park location. Through a Home Depot grant, we were able to do a beautification project for landscaping and help really enhance the look of that location. The next picture to the right, that is the South Louisiana Fairgrounds tennis courts. We removed the old rusted fencing there and replaced it with new black vinyl fencing. Gives it certainly an upgrade to the looks. Continuing along, Frank Sotil Pavilion in Donaldsonville, you'll see that we have these very large fans, and affectionately they're known as Big Ass Fans. That's the company. So we have several of those up there now, and should be a great benefit to those folks who are having rentals and all during the summertime. It drops at about 10, 12 degrees underneath that pavilion, so it's really going to be a great addition to that pavilion. Also at Frank Sotil, we were able to redo the concession stand. It is a very popular location for rentals, and we have a lot of folks that use the concession stand area. We took all the appliances out of there, repainted the facility, took care of the flooring, and then we put new appliances into the building itself. So that's just a snapshot there of some of the appliances that have gone into that location. We are currently, with the next picture, we are doing an accessibility parking spot kind of initiative of repainting those parking spots, making sure that they are lined up appropriately for the different visitors to the different parks. So this is a picture of our Oak Grove location, which was recently done, and it certainly has helped out with people parking in the correct spots and not being in the wrong areas when they visit. Other items that we have accomplished throughout the past 6 to 9 months, of course, we had our Hurricane Helena come through. We had a lot of cleanup projects that took place as a result of that. Our staff did an amazing job making that happen. I spoke already about the Frank Sotil concessions, but we are also looking at the concession stands located at Paula, Stevens, Butch Gore, and Cluot, where we primarily have our baseball and softball programs, making sure that those facilities are upgraded with proper electrical outlets and appliances, and getting a refreshed coat of paint, making sure the flooring's good, just making it a more invitable place for people to go. We also, and kind of spurred from the hurricane, was our tree removal project at several of our parks, where just trees that have been identified, either they have died or needed to be removed because of certain situations. But we are currently finishing up with that tree removal project. At our Geismar Community Center, we were able to kind of gut the kitchen area and restock it with commercial grade appliances. We have a new HVAC system at the facility, so the temperature is a lot better, whether it's cold or hot. It's very nice in there. And then also we are installing Wi-Fi and security cameras at a lot of our locations, and we have completed that over at the Geismar Community Center. Paula Park installed a new water well and completed, again, a Wi-Fi and security camera installation there. And we'll show you in a little bit of our upcoming projects of the other baseball field locations where we'll be adding security and Wi-Fi capability. And then several flagpole renovations at Oak Grove, South Louisiana Fairgrounds, and Butch Gore, ensuring that we are honoring our troops and veterans in the proper way and displaying the American flag appropriately. The next slide here, you'll see projects that are in progress or upcoming. As I mentioned before, the Wi-Fi and camera installation project, we have several that are in process with Cluot, Butch Gore, and Stevens Park. I'm just going to kind of skip through some of these. Y'all can certainly ask any questions that you might have, but I just wanted to highlight a few of them. Our pipe rail project that we have currently going on, and our pipe rails basically give a delineation between the park space and the parking lot. So it keeps folks from driving onto our grass and doing donuts, but also helps to identify where the parking is and people not, kind of guessing and parking wherever they'd like. So we have that coming up at Butch Gore and Modest Park very soon. Our kayak launches at PJ's Landing and Laurel Ridge, you'll see pictures of those to your right. We will be installing kayak launch features there where you can safely enter a kayak and then kind of shove off from that launch so that you're able to go out into the water smoothly without tumbling over your kayak or canoe and do it safely from the dock. So that'll attach to each one of those docks, and we'll be able to safely get them in and out. Stevens Park, this weekend actually will be the install of a new umpire's dressing room. With the help of AP Baseball, they have helped provide some funding for that to be installed, so we got that project moving, and that should be installed this weekend. And then some great news, new flooring installation at 3 of our community parks should happen this year. Prior to me coming to this meeting, heard from our facilities maintenance director, and we got some good news for Oak Grove Community Park that the quote came in lower than he expected, so hopefully we'll get that redone. So all the flooring will be taken out of the community center, redone, and polyurethra flooring in the restroom. So that'll be a lot better experience for the public to enjoy. Any immediate questions? All right.
Y'all doing a fine
I do have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I did get contacted about the Gosman Park, as far as getting some signage, as far as the open and closing times. Could we get that put up at the, work on trying to get that posted at the Gosman Park?
Yes.
Because they said they was having issues as far as people being there after hours, and the
Right.
police can't really do anything. There's no specific time as far as when they're not supposed to be there.
Right, we're working on those hours of operation signage, and then as you'll see coming up, or actually in the last information too, we're working on new park rules signage. So that's kind of the package that we'll have together, just some new signage at the parks, wayfinding signage, hours of operation signage, rule signage, just to kind of inform the visitors there of what's taking place. We've also rekeyed that facility, the Geismar Community Center, because we have experienced some visitors that we don't know who they are, but we found the door unlocked, so we have rekeyed the center, and hopefully that'll kind of deter any other additional action taking place over there. Any other questions about that?
No.
All right, I'll take you through a construction update. Now, the construction projects, they work in tandem with our planning team that Randy Mullis is the director over, and if certainly there's a more detailed answer that you need, he's here today to also respond if needed. But we'll take you through some of these high-level items, kind of what we're working on now. These projects here have been completed. You'll see at the top left, on February 25th of this year, we celebrated the donation to the city of Donaldsonville, our Lala Ruggiero Field. So that took place there. Got some great pictures, and it was a great event that we all participated in. At the top left, top center left, that is our Butch Gore softball fields, where we replaced the natural grass infield with artificial turf and a restroom out in the portion of the park that with the walking trails and the extra baseball fields. But this has increased our playability of those fields, has decreased on the dirt maintenance that has to take place on a routine basis. Maintenance is, of course, not eliminated from this because there's just a different type of maintenance you do for artificial turf, but of course it allows for better playability and a lot quicker playability for ball games. Our pipe rail project is the next picture over to the right. You'll see that at Oak Grove. We completed that project, and that'll be a similar look to what you'll see over at the other 2 parks I mentioned at Modest and at, what was the other location? I apologize. Butch Gore. And then the top right photo, you'll see the completed backstop, which includes the concrete cinder block backstop bottom, the netting that extends upward, and then you'll see the LED lights in the right corner of that picture. This is over at the South Louisiana Fairgrounds softball fields. This was a highly requested item that we were able to come through with, and it certainly enhances the beauty and the playability of that complex. To the bottom left is our recently opened Oak Grove Community Park Playground that we had our ribbon cutting on April 2nd for. A lot of people on social media, a lot of people coming out to the park who were chomping at the bit to get out there and play. So it's been well attended already, and we're excited about that opportunity. On the far right, you'll see the tennis courts over at Youth Legacy Duplessis Park. We resurfaced the tennis courts and pickleball courts in that location, upgraded the lights to an LED system, which includes timers for shut-off and for renting purposes. Now, some items that are in progress or upcoming projects. These are some of the bigger projects here. We still have some work to do out at Oak Grove with our outdoor restrooms. They are currently being bidded out, and hopefully will be in the next couple to 3 months, and which will add a great feature to that facility, which did not have outdoor restrooms previously. Prairieville Park Ball Field and Restrooms project is underway. They broke ground on it maybe a week or two ago, so that is rocking and rolling. At our South Louisiana Fairgrounds, we have the Airnasium, multi-purpose field, and green space that are currently in progress. Dirt has been scraped, construction is proceeding, and we're seeing a lot of potential out there. Our Southwood Park pickleball courts, we have 5 pickleball courts that will be going in at that location with connecting walking paths, so that should greatly increase the participation in the park, hopefully making that park a lot more visible to the public, a lot more attended, and in turn being a lot safer for people to visit. So we're excited about that. I know pickleballers are extremely excited about that, and that is our first permanent pickleball netting park that we have offered. So they are permanent standards into the concrete as opposed to portable netting, which is great. You'll see the picture to the right is the Santa Maria Library and Recreation Center. It is coming along and is slated to be ready to go in September. The Donaldson Armory renovation, that is upcoming. We're currently going through an environmental survey with that, and then hopefully we'll start construction right after that is completed. Our Lemonville Park, we are in the design phase of this park. Hopefully we'll have a lot of good new amenities out there, working with the designer to create some quality space for reunions, other gatherings that typically happen out in the Lemonville area, and an enhanced playground. So we're excited about that opportunity. And then finally, our Mississippi Levee Bike Trail and connection to the Darrow Recreation Center. We are kind of in the RFQ process at this, and we can provide you all more information as that comes about. Any questions on those items? Good. All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce Nick Schnecksnader. He's the president of the Ascension Parks Foundation. He's going to come here and provide an update of what the foundation has been up to these days.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Brandon, for the introduction and inviting me here to share a little bit about APF, the history of it, as well as kind of a rundown of some active projects, some stuff we've done, as well as some new initiatives that we have upcoming. We want to roll into it. I'm not sure if there's anything for me to do up here.
I can click for him. Yeah, you just got to pull it up, though. Well, we'll have to come back to it.
Awesome. Well, as Brandon said, my name is Nick Schnecksnader. I've been honored to be able to serve as the interim president for APF for the last 2 months, taking this position from Tia Starr, of course, as she ascended onto parish council. So I think overall, to understand what APF, we have to look at the history of it. This is a nonprofit organization that initially was founded in 2021 by Tia Starr and Monica Arnold of Rev as a leadership ascension project, ultimately. They wanted to bring a dog park to the Prairieville area that ultimately culminated in the creation of the Prairieville Dog Park, and from that kind of spun off APF. So as I said, APF is a nonprofit dedicated to raising funds to improve access, functionality, and availability of recreational opportunities in Ascension Parish. The main goals of APF, as aligned with AP Rec, are to enhance community well-being, to preserve and promote green space and to encourage local engagement in our parks. I think to ask why APF matters ultimately is to ask why parks matter. Parks are an integral part of any community. They boost property values, they improve public health, as well as lower crime rates throughout different neighborhoods and cities and parishes as a whole. So our role in that is to raise funds alongside the budget of AP Rec, ultimately to support parks, to support projects, to support initiatives that are for the betterment of our community and its residents. So we ensure responsible stewardship of those funds, whether it's donated to us and then that's handed over to an entity to handle construction of a project. We ensure that the generosity of those partners that are giving that money and donating those funds is aligned with the needs of the community. So it may be, a specific aspect of a park adjacent to industry. In addition to that, we foster innovation and partnerships, not only with industry partners, but also with different nonprofits, different community orgs. And lastly, we partner with Ascension Recreation, enabling them to do more with less. So our approach is twofold. On one side, we do attract private industry support, and we've had a lot of success doing that over the last couple years. And then we also collaborate with like-minded community partners. On the industry support side, this really allows us to make immediate investments in our parks and in the parks, I would say adjacent to industry and adjacent to those community entities and companies that want to invest in their parks immediate to them. It allows us to make immediate investments such as benches, pavilions, sidewalks, and then, of course, going up from there enables us to assist in park projects that AP Rec has going on. So it's a twofold approach that really maximizes the amount of funds that go towards a park project. On the community partner side, this, like I said, allows us to partner with like-minded organizations to improve parks and park amenities and programs that are available at these parks. So this includes volunteer events, park cleanups, tree plantings. Additionally, we are kind of brought in to raise awareness about the parks, like a speaking engagement such as this, or information booths at various conventions, or some type of community outreach event. So this kind of gives us a platform to be able to talk to the residents of the parish and of the local areas to get their input and what they want to see in their parks, and ultimately to kind of culminate in this whole group effort. We also encourage engagement with our schools through T-shirt days, so that's another fun way to kind of fundraise for us to be able to kind of give back to those schools. And then lastly, we, and I'll get into this in a moment, we sponsor registration fees, food, general overhead for different sporting events, and I'll get into that in a moment. So our impact, at a glance, we've raised over $200,000 in industry donations and fundraising events. I didn't include it here, but I have a general update of some recent funding wins. So Air Products had donated $120,000 for Sorrento Park. That is currently underway with plans and layout, with hopeful bid being over the summer. So you should be getting something out there. Exxon had donated $10,000 to Donaldsonville and Lemonville parks. CF recently had a charity golf tournament that resulted in us receiving over $23,000, and Sorrento Primary, through their T-shirt day, raised over $530. In addition to the fundraising efforts, we host volunteer events. We, wouldn't be an organization dedicated to parks if we weren't out in the parks, ultimately volunteering in them. If this is a Veterans Day cleanup, if this is a tree planting, this is something we want to do more of throughout the parks that maybe we haven't gotten to yet. I think there's a need at every park to do this, and so we want to be able to engage with the community, because we're a small board, and it takes community partners and residents ultimately adjacent to parks to also involve themselves in that act. Community give back initiatives, I mentioned before, we've been so blessed to be able to stand alongside CF to give funds to Donaldsonville Recreation. This goes towards overhead fees for basketball for boys and girls over there. So this is paying for their jerseys. This is paying for snacks, concessions, water. That's a really, really great, I think, overall easy win. It's something awesome that the community loves, and we love to be a part of that effort. This is something we want to continue to reproduce throughout the community. And then, like I said, implement and advise capital projects. So having that ability to be able to, put a park bench out at a park that's near, one of our homes, knowing that need and being able to kind of supplement the income and a budget, I guess you could say, of AP Rec is something that, that's why we're a nonprofit. That's the purpose we serve. So there are many ways to get involved. These are just kind of at a glance what those are. So sponsoring a park project, this can range really vast and large, small pavilions, dumpster enclosures, to something like lighting upgrades that are much needed at various parks and restroom facilities. Each park does have its own set of needs, and you seek to address those needs over time. But if we can speed that up, and invest money raised into checking off some of those needs, then that's what we're going to do. We do have a parks need list on our website, as AP Rec does as well. So we're working in tandem. Becoming an APF partner. So this is partnering with local industries and orgs to essentially supplement AP Rec's budget. Every donation that we receive is going straight to the parks and straight to park initiatives. So it makes a lasting impact. Sponsoring or joining a volunteer event, and there's a distinction there, I think. So, joining a volunteer event, we host, 4 or so a year. We will make listings on our Facebook page and on our website to essentially invite people to come and participate. We'll invite community orgs and whatnot. But I think that the real beauty in the volunteering is, if you own a company, or let's say you're head of your HOA of your neighborhood, I think that is a huge platform to be able to kind of round up people to sponsoring a volunteer event local to your community. So it's a matter of having resident input and reaching out to us to be able to then kind of run with it, get more people involved. We can sponsor, if it's food, water, if it's T-shirts, if it's something like tree planting, paying for those trees themselves. That's kind of the role we play there, but it's not something that I guess we could do without the public's involvement. And then last is spread the word about APF. So we, rely on a lot of word of mouth, and, being a small nonprofit, that's kind of the way it is for a while. And as we kind of further, branch out into various ways to get out in the public and spread about who we are, we still rely on that word of mouth. And, if it's a business finding out about what we do, if they provide a service or some type of amenity or, I don't know, structure, then it's plugging them with us so that we can see, okay, you have, this capability and we have this need, let's match them. So what's next for APF? There's a lot, and even more than what's here, but Arbor Day, of course, as Michelle said, is coming up in 2 weeks. We're really excited about this one. We're hoping, like I mentioned, to continue to branch this out, and no pun intended, to really build on the success of our Arbor Day events in the past. We're partnering with Brandon Golson, with Community Steel as well, to get a pavilion out at Youth Legacy Duplessis Park. He's kindly in the process of working up a way to build a 30 by 60 pavilion out there at no cost. That's well over $30,000 in budgeted effort there. So that's something that just kind of came up in talking with Brandon Bennett, who's our vice president, and working with Brandon Golson. So that's that word of mouth. With the summer cinema event at the Pace Center, this is something that is kind of a little different, but I think it's the bottom line, and it's the overall mission of APF is to get the community engaged. So if we can give back in a certain way, I think this is one to take. So essentially, the City of Gonzales at the Pace Center hosts these summer events every month of the summer. So we're going to sponsor one of those, paying licensing fees, food and drink tickets for the kids, and we're going to kind of lead the craft while the movie is going on. So this would be like an outdoor theme type of craft, get the community involved, get them really engaged with APF. If a parent doesn't know what APF is, I want the kids to be excited to go and explore local parks so they can bring their parents there too. The Walls Project, it was on Brandon's list, but just at a glance, this is an initiative that has been done in Baton Rouge to bring murals to empty walls, to sea cans, to even sports facilities such as basketball courts. So that's something that, it's a work in progress, but we see ourselves as having a role in that too. Kind of on the community input side, working with local artists, I think, is the big key point of that. So, if we're doing a project in Donaldsonville, it's working with the local artists in Donaldsonville, kind of creating more value at our parks and something that's really personal. Kid Cam, I might get attacked for saying Kid Cam or something like that. I'm not sure, but this is a camp project that is successful elsewhere in Louisiana, and it's something that we want to bring here. And I don't want to jump the gun or anything with it, but I know it's something that's in progress, and we plan to have a part in that as well. And then the most recent update with Ascension Flight. So I had spoke with them last week at their board meeting, and essentially we kind of received the thumbs up. So essentially the project is that Ascension Flight is going to sponsor us. So on their jerseys, like what you see over there, we'll have a Ascension Parks Foundation logo on the back of every jersey. They'll slightly upcharge the jerseys, and then the additional fee, I guess you could say, that they raise, it's going to go straight to us and straight to the Parks of Ascension. So that's something we want to replicate with other sporting orgs, but it's a definite start, and it's a really big platform, of course, with soccer being as popular as it is. So that's really all I have. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to take them, but we have our contact info here as well with our new website that you could check out.
To correct you on the Youth Legacy Duplessis, I think it's going to be Oak Grove is where the pavilion is going to be located.
There, so
Or
Ricky
both.
might be able to provide more input here.
See? Ricky's giving me the peace sign over there, so it's going to be 2.
So when I spoke with Brandon, they're looking at the possibility of doing 2 pavilions, and we asked if they would do the Youth Legacy Duplessis first, since we still have an active project going at Oak Grove to put the bathroom in, so that there's no conflict in that construction. So the Youth Legacy Duplessis would come first, and if he can get a second one, then that's Oak Grove. We would replace the small pavilion with a much larger one and move the small one closer to the skate park.
Well, thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'm biased, but great job.
Working with the foundation has been great so far. We've explored a lot of ideas, brainstormed possibilities, and it's extremely important for us to work with them hand in hand so that we can stretch the dollars even further and provide additional resources to the public. That's what we're all about, is providing service. So whatever means we can do it, we are going to make that happen. So certainly appreciative of Nick and the foundation working with us day in and day out. So thank you, Nick. All right. We'll get back to the other presentation here, and finally, a voting item for you all to consider. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Travis. I'm taking your job, Travis. You go for it.
I'm just gonna let you go ahead and run away.
Hey, no, that's fine. Look, I'm still trying to get my feet wet here.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 5, general business. 5A, approval to recommend to full council a proposed ordinance to amend Butch Gore softball field rental fees.
There are some changes in the ordinance. It's Chapter 15, Section 15-2, Park Rules and Regulations.
We have a motion to
Oh, I'm
approve.
sorry.
Motion approved by Councilman Hillsbeck, second by Councilman Joseph. Any objection? No objection, motion passes. I do have a
Hey,
question.
I'm good with that.
But I do have a question. I might be overthinking this one here. It says illegal drugs not allowed in any of the parks. Being that weed is now legal, do we need to specify that marijuana is not allowed at the parks?
It's something that we'll need to discuss with legal to see, as we go through our park rules, new signage program and stuff. We're gonna update some ordinances also, so we can take a look at it at that point and see. I wanna ensure that we are, yeah, or, I don't think that they're smoking facilities anyway. All public parks are not supposed to be smoking facilities, so I would think that would be the same situation. But we'll have a discussion and see what we've got.
Okay. And what about the vape pens as well?
The vape pens, we will, again, it's a smoking, I know that's kind of a gray area at this point, but we'll work with legal to kind of think it through and see what's gonna be best for the parks and all that, so. And overall, the experience for all the park patrons there.
Okay. Any other questions? With that, we'll go to agenda item number 6. Motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
how you adjourn.